The man we've all been waiting for, Wasim Akram, who hit lustily when Lancashire batted in the course of a good partnership with Philip de Freitas. And the first one. Curtis goes. Left arm over the wicket. Wasim Akram comes on and immediately breaks the partnership. 16 to Curtis, and it's 27 for 1 now. Wasim Akram, the breakthrough.
Pace did the trick there. That looked a really quick ball from our position. And we'll see it again in the slow motion. Whether it left Curtis off the pitch or not, it's difficult to tell. In Alan Davison form, the leg cut is difficult to tell, but real pace. And a feature of Akram's bowling is the speed of his arm, his body action and the whip it gets. Here we can look again. Quick ball, it bounced. You can see where Hegg took it. It carried almost shoulder high through to the keeper.
Oh, threw him and got him. Absolutely, there's a big blow for Lancashire and for Worcestershire. Akram's looked likely to take a wicket with every ball. And that's Hegg gone. Caught at the wicket and a good low catch as well. He's gone for 1 and Worcestershire now in trouble at 38 for 2.
Well, Hegg never looked comfortable against the extra pace of Wasim Akram. That was a good delivery. He had to play and it left him off the pitch. And that's a great wicket for Lancashire.
Over they go. The 9th wicket goes down. Wasim Akram absolutely on target. And Phil Newport. And the Branston Hedges Cup is well and truly Lancashire's.
Next one in our Lancashire Legends, we've got probably one of the biggest legends that's ever been at Lancashire cricket. One of our best overseas players, one of our best teammates, our best mates, and one of the greatest bowlers that's ever been. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Wasim Akram. Waz, how you doing, pal? Great to speak to you.
Thanks, Chuck. I'm good. Hope you guys are doing well in England. Before you start, I feel for England. Things are not that great right now, but hopefully we'll stick together. I was meant to be in England in end May for my summer break. I'm looking forward. Hopefully things will get better by then. Let's see what happens, but all the prayers.
Brilliant. Thanks, pal. And how are you doing in isolation? What's happening? What's happening over there? What are you up to?
Proper isolation. I haven't met anyone. My wife, obviously we have a 5-year-old daughter, and my youngest son, Akram, came back from America from his college because everything was shut down. My eldest son still is in America, isolated, but in isolation. It is a bit tough. I mean, to start off for 2 weeks, it was fun. But now it's like a Groundhog Day. Every day is the same. But I did the best. What I did, I made my routine is the same. I wake up at 6 o'clock, and there's no one on the roads. First time in Pakistan. I live in Karachi, in the city of 22 million people.
Wow!
So I go for my run and about do 7 to 8K. Then I come back, have a bit of swim with my little one, and then just chill. And that's my routine so far. I haven't changed anything. I'm not doing late nights. I'm just doing the same thing I do normally.
Oh, that's amazing. You're right, it's Groundhog Day, isn't it? Everything is the same. My garden looks unbelievable. I've painted all the fence. Grass looks like Emirates Old Trafford. Nice little wicket. I've got my little golf bit there, and I painted all the sheds and everything. It's looking unbelievable. But I'm so bored. I'm so bored.
I suppose everybody is. It's just not England, Pakistan. It's worldwide. This pandemic is going, and this is the only way we can control it, to have social distance. And I think every country is trying their best, but it's a bit more difficult here for average person, as you know, because we have a lot of poverty in this country. So I think our government is doing a great job. Imran Khan, our Prime Minister, he has, he has given away already worth 1 billion rupees, $1 billion worth of money to the poor families all over Pakistan. So far, so good.
Let's talk about your time at Lancs, because it was brilliant, wasn't it? We had the best time. We set the scene. Neil Fairbrother spoke yesterday. Harvey, our top mate, he spoke yesterday about meeting you in Sharjah and asking you to come over to Lancashire, and then you arrived under the leadership of David Hughes and Alan Ormerod. What did you think? What you landed on our shores? What did you think?
I think for starters, when Neil Fairbrother Harvey when he met me in Sharjah with Brown, you know, our physio, Laurie Brown,
That's
the
right.
great man, the great man. And they asked me to play for Lancashire, and I thought, because those days playing for a county was a huge deal. You had to be a top player of the world, like Viv Richards, Imran Khan, Clive Rice, Richard Headley, all these massive names, because you could only play with one or register with two. So I thought of talking about league. I said, yeah, I'll play for a league. Yeah, sure. I was very excited. But then Harvey said, no, mate, it's Lancashire County. I said, what? Are you serious? And I was over the moon. I had told my captain, excuse me, Imran, and he said, great. And it was dream come true for me. And yeah, I landed from West Indies, arrived at Heathrow. Alan Ormerod came to pick me up. Great man, helped me a lot early on in my career. He was always there, you know, as a mentor. Arrived at Nottingham, the great Forte Post House, if you remember that hotel. Not the great hotel, but yeah, I remember the hotel. And I remember, I think I arrived at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 2 o'clock, and I've been told there's a team meeting at 6 o'clock at the bar. And me being Muslim, coming from Pakistan, I said, team meeting in the bar? That doesn't sound right. Or what sort of meeting that could be? I said, okay, I'll be there at 6. So I arrived there at 6, and I saw Walter was there, our captain, David Hughes, great man, Graham Fowler, Watkinson, all of you guys were there, and you all had pint of Stella in your hand. And I said, that's a good meeting, first day, you know, day before the 4-day game against Nottingham. But again, jokes aside, my first interaction with you guys took me under your wing, including our captain, Yoza, who was very helpful. I was like, I was very uncomfortable for first 2-3 weeks, very shy, but everybody helped and, made me comfortable. And once I arrived at the Old Trafford, and I remember I played my first game at Old Trafford, and I got my first class 100 against Somerset. That was my first class 100. Again, very historic ground. David Hughes was great influence. Walter in the beginning was great influence. Watkinson, Graham Fowler. These guys were the seniors at the time. Yeah. And of course, yourself was young. I myself, Ian Austin, Bully, the great man. And of course, you can't forget Neil Fairbrother. Very instrumental he has been in my career, off the field and on the field. And I think he took me to his mom's house when I arrived at Old Trafford. I was staying, they put me in a pub somewhere on Hill Road. The pub is still there for a couple of nights, Lancashire. And Harvey took me home for a cup of tea. So I went to Harvey's house, and Harvey's mom said, would you like a cuppa? And I looked at Harvey. I said, what is she saying? She said, would you like cuppa tea? I said, yeah, I like cuppa tea. It took me about 3 weeks to understand what you guys were saying to me for starters.
Well, I remember you coming into the dressing room, and like you said, you mentioned the younger lads in the team, Atherton, Hegg, Fairbrother, Yates, and all them, Peter Martin, Bully. Bully's our top men, young cricketers that were mixed with the senior players you mentioned, the David Hughes, the Graham Fowler, the Paul Allotts, the Gehan Mendes, great players.
Gehan Mendes.
Time. And then
and briefly there was Trevor Justy as well, if you remember, who came for a couple of years with us.
Yeah, but Trevor was always on the physio's bed.
Yeah, I remember that. There was a name on the physio bed. Yeah. Trevor Justy bed.
We should have called him Sick Note. He was always in. Yeah, but we had that team.
Yeah, but I tell you, playing for Lancashire, we'll come back to the stories a little later. It helped me a lot to become what I wanted to become at the time. As a young guy, after playing first year at Lancashire, I became the top player in world cricket. And that, how much Lancashire cricket, you guys have helped me, because I became confident. We come from a culture where we don't live on our own. We live with other families. And over there, I was living on my own. I remember when I got my own place, I still have that place. I got my own place. I think secretary was Rose, if I remember.
That's Rose Fitzgibbon. Yeah.
Yeah. She gave me the crockery, the cutlery, and stuff in my new house. So it was like So, everything was very new to me. And I've learned a lot off the field. So I became confident as a person. And that confidence I showed into the game, into cricket. And playing for Lancashire was so much fun for me because we were winning as well. We were great side. Eventually became one of the top sides. I just saw the Wisdom thingy, the most successful county ever. It was Lancashire, number one.
Absolutely.
I mean, and I saw some tweets. Yorkshire guys weren't very happy about it, but guys, we are the number one side. It's by Wisdom.
That'll get some reaction from our friends over the Pennine. But don't we? You mentioned that successful side was in the 90s, and we went to Lords all the time, and we enjoyed those great games. And
absolutely,
the first one was Worcester versus Lancashire, and it was billed the young Wasim Akram versus the great Graham Hegg. Can you remember that game?
Of course, I remember. That was one of the best games I think I participated in, either for Lancashire or for Pakistan. After the World Cup final, that was the ultimate game. You could see the newspapers were picking it up. You could see the television channel were picking it up. And the whole, the whole, what you call it, the system, the routine. If you're in the finals, the new suits, the families are going by train. What's going to happen after the game? Where we going for dinner? And what's the plan for next day? So everything was something very new for me. I never thought in first class structure or first class cricket, you'll have pack house, 40,000 people watching a final. And I was pumped. And I think all of us were pumped. All of us were pumped because we wanted to win so badly as a team, because that was the start from where Lancashire started and obviously eventually be remembered as the one-day kings.
Yes, absolutely. And just one thing sticks in my mind. Well, two things actually stick in my mind from that game was you got Graham Hegg outswinger, foot fast, real fast. And Graham Hegg nicked it to me. And
I remember that?
I still get nervous now. I watch the footage and I still get nervous thinking, oh my God, what if I had dropped it? What if I had dropped it? And somehow, boom, and the ball landed straight in the middle of the buzz. I don't know how I caught it because it was going a million miles an hour. I remember looking at the slips and they're thinking, how have you caught that? That's amazing. And then another one, I think you hit Neil Radford onto the second tier at Lords.
Yeah, I remember straight, right on the pavilion, top of the pavilion for, I think, second tier. Yeah, I charged. I mean, I remember that game like it was yesterday. One of the best games, like I said, I played, participated in. The whole atmosphere. A week before, not just day before, not just on the day itself, the weeks before when we qualified for the finals. For me, everything was new. Everything was fun. You arrive at the ground, everybody's happy. Everybody's saying, Lanky, Lanky, Lanky. Wasim for Lancashire. It was something totally different for me, an eye-opener for me. And, those 10 years I played for Lancashire, I still cherish it. I'll never forget that, the time I spent with you guys on and off the field. And the funniest was obviously you and, of course, Bully. He was, remember, in the dressing room, he was next to me, and I wasn't very organized. I used to nick his socks, the clean socks. He was very organized.
I remember.
He was very organized. His socks were there. His white shirts were there. And, my socks, like, I wasn't as bad as Addis. Addis was the worst.
Addis was terrible.
Yeah, he was terrible. So my stuff was all over the place, but I used to nick his socks. Eventually, he caught me, and you know what he'd said to me? I can't say it here.
He was so organised, wasn't he? For the kind of guy he is, everything. His shirts were there, his vests were there, his jock straps and underpants, and everything was
and rolled up white socks and white shoes and white pads and everything. He was so organised in general. I loved. And we used to have great time together, sitting next to each other. We used to go out for dinners, remember? You, me, Chucky, curry night or steak night or everything was, like I said, whatever the culture I am from, that was something very new for me, living on your own. And I think after a year, first year or second year, they gave me a roommate, Peter Martin, and he used to freaking snore. You could hear it from 2 miles away.
He was
So I went to Alan. I said, Alan, look, in my culture, you're not supposed to share rooms. Poor Alan, he believed me and gave me a single room from there onwards.
You got a single room. But you mentioned it before, didn't you? You mentioned you brought you brought a whole new culture to us younger boys who are, you know, from Manchester, from Lancashire, and then we showed you a new culture, and it just seemed to fit. It fitted like that, and we embraced that culture. I remember one day was we sat in the dressing room at Old Trafford, in the old dressing rooms, and some of your friends from one of the local restaurant brought some food in for lunch.
I remember.
And we didn't go in for lunch. We didn't go in to see. We didn't go in to see Jackie for some green soup.
No, you did not. I remember that.
We had the
kebabs.
We had the kebabs, and then we went out again and fielded.
Yeah, I know. And I remember one game, I think it was after 2-3 years, we qualified for the finals.
Yeah.
And late Peter Marin, he organized a huge barbecue on the field itself. We played some soccer. We had cricket balls, you know, into the railway lines.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was a great day. And I remember, because I think that game went the second day. It was a 60-over game.
Yes,
it went the second day and finished by lunchtime.
Yes.
So,
we had a
so
barbecue.
again, yeah, that was something very new to me, something very different and fun for me as well.
Well, let's talk about, you know, let's talk about, you know, you mentioned your really good times at Lancashire, and the times at Lancashire that we feel that, you know, will always be there. You are part and parcel of of our club and our Red Rose. You'll always be synonymous with that. But we can't have a chat without talking about playing cricket for Pakistan. You know, you were proud, and a very proud man to one, wear the Red Rose of Lancashire, but also to wear the Pakistan crest.
Absolutely.
Tell me about that amazing day, that World Cup final.
It was unfortunately against England, Chuk. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
And England at the time were the best one-day side in the world.
Yeah.
Philip de Freitas came at number 10.
Yes.
That was the batting order. So all-rounders, Dermot Reeve was there, Derek Pringle was there, of course, Ian Botham, Neil Fairbrother.
Yeah.
The final, I was pumped, obviously. Every final, as you know, when you qualified for the final, especially the World Cup final, you kind of want to do, you want to make an impact on the game, because you know as a player that people will remember it if you perform well. And I think that was my day. The way Pakistan played, we outplayed England, and the partnership was going between Harvey and Alan Lamb. And then Skipper brought me in, and obviously Neil had a word with Alan Lamb, and he said, reverse swinging, just block Wasim. And I think I just bowled a good delivery to Alan Lamb, and Harvey just blocked me. He didn't hit the shot, he just blocked me with dead bat. He was so intelligent, Jen.
It was, and I remember them to, you know, you came in, you bowled the speed of sound, sound, great swing, great reverse swing, great control, and you just took the game away from England. But the atmosphere and the relief on your captain's face, you know, Mr. Imran Khan, a legend in his own right.
I know he's the Prime Minister of the country now, but huge deal. It was huge deal for Pakistan. You know, when we won the World Cup, Chuk, I was about 24 years old. We didn't know what we did at the time. So when we arrived back into Pakistan, then we realized we have achieved something phenomenal here, because I could see the whole country was smiling for months after that. Everybody, wherever we went, we arrived at Lahore. The hotel drive is about 20 minutes from the airport. It took us 6 hours. We were open top bus.
Really?
Yeah. It took us 6 hours. The whole Lahore was out, and every province, the chief minister called us. We drove through the main streets. The whole country were out. So it was incredible. It was long time ago, but I still remember it was like yesterday.
What an achievement! And let's Pakistan has seen the return of cricket to a great cricketing country, and I think the whole world is, you know, applauding, thinking about time. It's great that Pakistan can house cricket again, and the culture can come and watch cricket, because the Pakistanis live for cricket.
Yeah, you know, in England you have soccer. Soccer is the number one sport. Then you have tennis. Then you have cricket. Then you have golf. Then you name every sport is there. In Pakistan, Chuk, there's only one sport. That's cricket. We used to have squash, this is gone. We used to have hockey, gone. But cricket is the only sport we have. And wherever you go, people are playing cricket. And we were starved of cricket. I mean, playing in Dubai, Sharjah is okay, but 3 people watching, 7 people watching, that was it. But at least cricket after 10 years, PSL happened here.
Yeah.
Almost happened here. Yeah, every game. We have couple of English. We have two English players in our side, Alex Hales and Chris Jordan. They loved it. Everybody enjoyed Pakistan. The hospitality was incredible. Obviously, they got bit kind of not bored, kind of bored because they were in the hotel rooms most of the time.
Yeah.
Because of security, we didn't want to risk it. But eventually, I think next year things will be. Hopefully, things will. We will definitely get better.
Fantastic. And the state of Pakistan cricket at the moment, it's always going to bring very exciting fast bowlers, mystical spinners, dashing batsmen. It's all Pakistan cricket is synonymous with that, isn't it?
I think Pakistan cricket relies on skill a lot. Now they're getting into fitness, but I reckon they're more into skill. You see a bowler came out of nowhere. We have this 16-year-old Naseem Shah who bowls 150 kilometers, and he's actually sharp. He's really, really quick. And a lot of people ask me, is he 16? I said, yes. He'll be 17 soon, or probably he's 17, but that's what I'm saying. That's how we just find cricketers from nowhere. And that's the beauty of Pakistan cricket.
Yeah, and it is brilliant to watch, and we're hoping above all hope, and we've got the England-Pakistan Test series back in the country, and we've got a game at Emirates Old Trafford. We're hoping that we see that brilliant team, that Pakistan cricket team, come over to our shores and entertain our public again. You must be looking forward to that if it goes ahead.
Yes, I'm meant to commentate on that series for Sky. Yeah. So I hope it happens. And, if I work or don't work, as you know, every 2 months I spend in Lancashire. Where my place is. I bought that place in 1988 with no money. I only had 6-year Lancashire contract. So I got the mortgage because of that contract. When my accountant said, buy a house, I said, buy a house? I have $100 in my account. How am I going to buy a house? Maybe 500 at the time. He said, no, we'll get a mortgage. We have 6-year Lancashire contract. Yeah. So, the county also helped me a lot. All the chairmen who has been around for a long, long time. I remember quite a few. I forgot the main guy, Jack Simmons. Simo. He also has been a great influence on us as well. Yeah. He was great fun off the field, very competitive. And Gehan Mendes, I remember I used to take him in nets afterwards or before the game. And he was tell me, Waz, we got a whole season ahead. Why are you going into nets? I used to say, guys, I'm 20. I'm not gonna get tired.
The thing is, Mendo was the only one who wanted to face you in the nets. Then we're oh no, I've got a bit of a hamstring or a bit of a stiff neck. I'll just have a few throwdowns today. But we mentioned. We mentioned the skill. You mentioned skill there before, and it's something that you brought to our team. You brought that skill. Yeah. You could field like a gazelle. You could hit the ball out of any ground in the world. You bowled at 90 mile an hour, and you bowled 90 mile an hour with brilliant reverse swing. And I speak to people about reverse swing, and people. Yeah. I said, lots of people can bowl reverse swing. Lots and lots of people, but only certain people can bowl it well. And Oscar,
bowl it well.
Yeah,
and Oscar. And Oscar is one of them. And Oscar, I think he's the most underrated cricketer in Lancashire. He won us so many games, single-handedly, under pressure. Neil Fairbrother himself, Neil and him, they won so many games from unbelievable positions we were in. Correct. And he was a tremendous fielder as well, Bully. Neil Fairbrother was the best fielder in the world, yes. But Ian Austin, his throw, his arm, his agility, he was a complete all-rounder. That's why he was so important. Him, Michael Watkinson, both these all-rounders were so important for our one-day core. Yeah. These guys won us so many games.
And everyone in that team you'll agree that everyone in that team where we were successful in the 90s knew exactly what their job in that team was to do, and that's why we were so successful. I always tell people that.
Yeah, and everybody knew. That captain, David Hughes, he was very simple but straightforward. And he will tell you, this is the plan, this is your job, and everybody knew their job. And that credit goes to the captain and the manager at the time as well, especially how to deal with these youngsters like us, you, me, Ian, Neil, Digger, all of us. I probably missed some names, but then of course Junior Bumble came into the fold as well. Tremendous fielder when he came.
Yeah,
Is he a good umpire? Is he a good umpire?
Is he a
Are
good
you
umpire?
sure?
Well, you know what? It's amazing. How the hell is Bumble an umpire? He hated fielding. He hated fielding and being on the ground
I
for 6
know.
hours. And now he's on the field every time, every day.
And he wasn't the organized chap
No,
either. Not at
no.
all. But well done
I
to
love
him.
it when he just gives them out. Yeah, that's out. He's out. Get out.
That's our boy.
And you mentioned captaincy. You captained Lancashire for a spell of time in the 90s, and you were a national cricket team captain. How did captain suit you? How did you like captaining?
I mean, I loved captaining Lancashire because there was no pressure. Everybody knew what to do. I just had to do bowling changes in the middle. And I think I was captain 98. We won 2 one-day trophies and became second in the championship. So we had a very successful kind of a season.
Yes.
So busy. Captaining Pakistan was a bit tough because there's a lot of politics off the field.
Yeah.
But it was an honor. I mean, leading your side, leading your country is definitely a honor for anyone, I suppose, for me as well.
And, you know, we're not going to keep you much longer, Was. What else do you do?
I commentate, and obviously coaching is not my forte. I am a person who can organize the system. If there's a team, it needs to be organized with the coach, with the manager, with the bowling coach, fielding coach. I'll be with them 24/7. I'll be helping the bowlers psychologically, mentally, but coaching 24/7, I don't have the patience. I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses, but in the end, I definitely say that Lancashire has made a huge impact in my life. You guys, friends forever. Whenever I come, I mean, I socialize. I mean, I meet Neil Fairweather very regularly. He lives 5 minutes away from me. We've been in touch. I would love to see all of them again. Bully, Digger, Bumble, Junior Bumble. And remember, we had a Bumble as a coach as well. The best coaches ever. It was incredible.
We had some fun with him, didn't we?
We really did. I remember we lost a game in day and a half, 3-day game. We lost in Cheltenham. How did that happen? 4 innings. Lunchtime, second day, it was gone.
Great memories from a really good era of Lancashire cricket that will stay. It won't only stay with us, Was. It won't only stay with us. It stays with the whole of the club and the whole of the fans and the members who remember them times and look back on them times as a great era of Lancashire cricket. And we have some fun. We had some serious fun.
On and off the field, both we did. I remember you were quite worried as well. When you used to get out, you used to come back and scream in the towel. I said, what are you doing, Chook? You used to pick up a towel and you used to go like this. I said, no point doing that. Nobody can listen. You have to shout properly. You were such a nice guy.
In a towel like this. No!
Yeah, I remember.
We spoke to Harvey yesterday. We spoke to him, and one of the things that stuck in his memory was the fact that a spell that you bowled against Leicester in a semi-final. What can you remember about that?
I remember one thing about that spell, that they gave man of the match to Neil Fairweather. I don't know why. He's got 60, 67, and I got 5 for 1 in 5 overs or something. And man of the match went to Neil Harvey Fairweather. It was mind-boggling for me.
I can't remember. All I do remember is you came on for a spell, and Harvey mentioned you had a little bit of a niggle, and you produced this spell, and the rest is history. Tell me about it.
I think obviously it was reversing. It was a hot day. I used to enjoy sun, dry pitch, hot day, and it was one of those days where rhythm was there. If it started reversing a bit, I knew as a bowler, you guys knew, 1 wicket. And my rhythm will come back, and that's what exactly happened. Got 1 wicket and got 4 in no time, and then they gave man of the match to Neil Fairweather. So wrong.
That's why Harvey mentioned it.
I know.
Because he got.
Other day, somebody tweeted that link, and they forgot to mention that man of the match went to Harvey. Crazy times.
Another game that you were an integral part was. I mean, you batted for a long time. Was the semi-final game against Worcester. We were dead and buried. And you smashed it all over the place. What do you remember?
I remember hitting poor Radford again towards You know the big tree, if you're batting from pavilion end, there's a huge tree on mid-wicket. If you bat left-hander, you hit mid-wicket, it was there. Yeah, that went over him. And then I got out 24 runs to go, I remember.
Yes.
I got out. It was Yatesy and you, I think, finished the game off.
Yeah.
The last over. And we were in the dressing room. We weren't moving from our places. Everybody was there, not moving at all. One of the best games. I remember these games, it was like yesterday. I mean, it was 20 odd years ago. But it still memory is still fresh because those were the best times ever. And, you know, qualifying for the finals in 90s for us was a routine. We became confident, not cocky. We became confident as a team. The confidence was there. Other teams hated us, kind of, that they, you know, if any team they need to beat, it's Lancashire. But we were unbeatable. So if I have to say, people ask me the you know, highlights of your career, Lancashire is one of the highlights of my career, for sure. True Lancastrian.
True Lancastrian, yeah, absolutely. But just going back to that game, that Worcester game, I remember you came in, you smashed it everywhere. You got us back in the game. I had a gutsy 40, 45, 40, really working around the odd boundary. Yatesy came in and he spooned one over third man for 2 runs.
Yes.
And the headlines, Yates takes Lancashire home. I just thought,
I know.
What's going on?
Crazy times they were. Are we getting man of the match?
Yeah.
Yatesy headlines. What's going on? What was going on there, Chuk?
But we parted late into the night, if you remember. We stayed in our whites.
Yes.
Sang and we had good fun and we had a great time.
You know, before you finish, Chuk, I tell you one thing. When I arrived at Lancashire, it was very important. As you know, in Pakistan, India, we have this culture where we have 2, 3 friends or people we know with us all the time. Yes. I don't know why. It's just kind of thing in Pakistan, India. But I, you know, being a 20-year-old, I told myself, Waz, you are in England. You are with your team. Just try to be friendly with them. Don't make Pakistani or Indian, you know, friends. You have them in Pakistan. So that kind of stuck in my mind. And that's why I was spending so much time with you. Off the field, on the field. If there's a day off, Daffy was there. I forgot Daffy. Daffy was there. Neil Fibbers in Hale. I was in Altrincham. We used to end up somewhere in there in the evening, hang out together. So I was like, you guys were like my family, still are. But it was so important for me at the time. So that was also a very important decision I made when I was 20 years old.
And I think you said it before, it stood you in good stead and it stood us in good stead for having these lifelong friendships that
absolutely. I'll cherish it all my life.
You know what we've not touched on, Was? We've not touched on the ground that we played on, the Old Trafford that we played on, to the Emirates Old Trafford, that as we know it now, a magnificent world stadium.
Beautiful.
What do you make of the facilities in the stadium?
It looks awesome. It's different. But it's awesome because the direction of the square has changed altogether. But the ground, for me, it's one of the most beautiful grounds in the world right now. The Old Trafford, the point, the red, you know, it's just modern, and yet the old building is still there, the old dressing room. Yes. So history is still there. Yeah. The history is there, the memories are there, and yet they made the new modern stadium around it. So it looks the best to me.
Brilliant. That's good to hear. And no better. You know, you've played all over the world, in Australia, South Africa, Pakistan, India, the West Indies. When Emirates Old Trafford is full, it's right up there with the best atmospheres that we can possibly
absolutely, especially with the huge stand you put out there, like a Eiffel Tower. You know the temporary stand? It's huge.
8,000 people in there.
8,000 people. So it looks awesome when you even commentated their Pakistan games. Pack house. I saw one game, I think last year or before, T20 Lancashire versus Yorkshire. Very close game. Very close. Harvey invited me. Very close game. And then Walter showed me around the dressing room, a new dressing room, and everything. It was incredible. Great facilities.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And Was, well, you know, it goes without saying that you're welcome at Emirates Old Trafford, Lancashire Cricket, anytime you're in the area, and it's always great to see. It's always great to share a cup of tea, like you say, and
a cuppa
of tea. Yeah. And I think an important message before we sign off, mate. And I could talk to you for hours and hours and hours, but in these unprecedented times, we've got to keep people safe. We've got to keep people healthy. What's your message to all fans and members out there?
It's very simple. The only way we can fight this coronavirus is that if we stay home. Social distances is so important, and I think people are getting to it now. In the beginning, people thought it's a holiday, we can hang out together, but not. It's serious, and we all know what's happening in UK, what's happening in America, what's happening in Italy, what has happened in Italy and Spain. So this is tough times. Tough times obviously means extreme measures, and the extreme measure is stay home and stay safe.
Well, Waz, it's been brilliant to chat to you, mate. I know we chat over the internet. Internet's an amazing thing now that you're over there.
I know.
And me in Manchester, and we chat like we're sat in a dressing room next to each other having a laugh.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for sharing your memories of Lancashire cricket with us, mate. You will always be one of the sons of Lancashire, and we hold you very, very dear to our hearts. Thanks for your time, pal. Love to your family. Keep them safe. And we look forward to seeing you, hopefully, the back end of this summer.
Thank you, Chuck, and all the love. Thank you.